Hello everyone, this is Nele for the Curly Hair Project, and today I want to talk to you about why your child always melts down when they get back home from school. Um, you hear a lot of parents who have children with autism or Asperger's syndrome complain, if I may call it that, about the fact that when their child gets home, they explode and they completely melt down while being at school. They're actually very well behaved. There's a very simple reason why this is, and none of this has anything to do with your parenting, because really, believe it or not, you're absolutely fantastic parents. So, why does your child melt down only when they get back from school and not when they are at school? This has to do with being in a safe and unsafe environment, or being around safe or unsafe people. Being in a safe environment or being around safe people means the child trusts their environment or is familiar with their environment or trusts the people they are with. That way, they feel safe enough to express what the environment is doing to them or how they are feeling currently at that moment, because they need someone else at that point to take care of them. When a child melts down, it's physically so enormously overwhelming. It actually hurts. It can hurt the child, and not just by means of inflicting pain on themselves, but they're so completely out of themselves that they need someone else to take care of them. When they are in a safe environment or when they are with safe people, their expressions become very outwardly instead of inwardly. Whereas when they're in an unsafe environment or with unsafe people, as I want to call it right now, or people they don't really trust, they won't express how they feel because they will feel subconsciously that the person or the environment surrounding them may not be able to take care of them. This is something very important that you need to keep in mind, and this is basically the rule for your child whenever they have a meltdown. So when you have a child has a meltdown in the supermarket, you can say like, yeah, but it's an unsafe environment. Correct, but you're with them and you're a safe person, so they know you will take care of them. So what happens at school is when the day starts and you have to get your child dressed and ready, usually it's already a race against the clock. You know, for most families, getting ready in the morning is always a race against the clock, and always something goes wrong, and there's crying and there's moaning and there's a lot of stuff going on. So that's already sensory very challenging. At school, because they're on an unsafe environment and it's very structured as well, so your child is constantly being triggered by a lot of things. They don't get a break. They just simply do not get a break. And they have mathematics, they have, we in Belgium have geography, all sorts of classes and courses they have to take, they have to pay attention to. And because they process information a lot slower, it takes them a longer while to catch up. But they also process a lot of other information, and that takes a lot of work too, you know. When, for example, in geography class, the teacher points to a country and asks, what country is this? The neurotypical child may just say, it's China, because they are looking at the country the teacher is pointing at. While as the child with Asperger's syndrome or autism will have seen the entire map, the texture of the map, the color of the map, the different colors of the different countries, and everything surrounding it. So they're processing a great deal more of information, and that's just incredibly exhausting and incredibly tiring. Another example is lunch break. You know, for most kids, they're like, oh, lunch break, yay, let's go play and stuff like that. But for someone with autism, it's a lot of sensory input at once. You know, you have the food, the texture of the food, you have the kids talking around you, the echoes of the room, the bright lights that are shining down on you, and so forth, etc. So all those things together pile up to a massive snowball, or a massive mountain of snow. Let's just compare this to an avalanche. Like on a mountain, the snow keeps dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. But since the child is in an unsafe environment with unsafe people, it will be very inwardly when it comes to emotions. It will just be into itself. It will shut down a lot of the time. Teachers will call the child very quiet, very unto itself. Kids will see the child distancing itself, being on their own. And then the child gets home into a safe environment with mommy or daddy, or mommy or daddy and daddy, or whatever your family situation is, and they will come into a safe situation, a safe environment and safe people, and the avalanche breaks loose. In a way, this means that your child feels completely safe with you, and that is the biggest compliment you can have from someone who has autism. They can actually have a meltdown around you. I don't have to repeat this. I probably most people with autism, most parents with children with autism know this, that your safety and the child's safety always comes first, of course. But I also wanted to make this video to show to other people who deal with the kids during school days, or days when they are at the playground and stuff like that, because they don't see the meltdowns. They see the child being very quiet, very into themselves, very retreated into themselves. And when the parents come to talk to you about how their child explodes like every night after school, they simply won't believe it, because it's not possible to see a child who's so well behaved at school have a complete meltdown when they come home, and then they blame it on the parents, when in fact the parents are definitely not doing anything wrong at all. It's just the amount of sensory input that is problematic for the child, and the lack of safe environment and the lack of a safe person. So when you're at school and you face these challenges with someone with autism, you might suggest a few things that are helpful. Alice has written quite a good few books about this, but on the top of my head, I'm thinking let them have lunch on their own. Assign a safe person. This could be a teacher who spends extra time with them, who sits with them, reads with them, does things with the child on their own. Or have a safe room so the child can retreat to that every now and again, so it doesn't have to be inwards here, processing all of the information all of the time, all at once. So, in a nutshell, having a child meltdown after school definitely is not your fault. It has nothing to do with bad parenting. You're an awesome mom, you're an awesome dad. For the teachers who do face children with autism at school and have parents come to them talking about the meltdowns they have after school, this is normal. This is quite normal. It's not because the child is well behaved at school that it means that when it melts down at night, that it is a case of bad parenting. Absolutely not. This is quite normal for someone with autism. It's working out what is safe for the child, finding safe environments, finding safe persons at school that might help prevent these meltdowns. I hope this was helpful, and I wish you all a very good day. Bye.